Hey, Dragon Con, Crispy here, and I'm with our friend Anjali. Anjali,
hello.
Welcome to Dragon Con.
Thank you. I'm so excited. It's my first Dragon Con. And it was my birthday a few days ago, so this is my birthday weekend.
Welcome home and happy birthday, my friend.
Thank you. I'm really excited.
It's pretty exciting. You came in a bit of a whirlwind already.
I did.
You were working yesterday, you got here, and then you joined me with the parade coverage earlier today. So those of you who are watching, that's what we did.
Yeah, it was fun. I hopped on the red eye. I landed. I got to the hotel. I changed. I came to you.
I don't know how you did that.
We did a little bit of chatty McChat, and I got to see all the, well, not all, I got to see at least the Amazing Gaming cosplay, and the Overwatch cosplay, and the Game of Thrones cosplay, and Fallout, and some others, and then headed over to meet and greet the folks.
Wow, so you have gone nonstop.
I have.
When do you sleep? Just in general, are you this?
I am I'm a good sleeper normally.
All right.
But when there's an event like this, I kind of feel like suck it up, because otherwise you're going to miss something.
And you know, the FOMO, the fear of missing out, is so real just in general, but especially at events like this.
And also, for me, it's also getting to see, obviously, the entire community of people that are here, but also you guys have brought in so many wonderful guests that are also mutual friends, and so we all want to see each other, and we want to see all of you, and we want to see all of the cosplay, and we want to see all of the panels, we want to see all of the things. So it's
hard.
Like, it's hard to do everything. I don't actually have a teleporter. I don't know if anyone knows that. I don't really have a teleporter.
That's the only reason we were here. So this has been fun. Thank you.
I know.
That's all right.
I know. Seriously, I've joked, but it's really true that it's the universe teasing me that the character that I get to play, one of her major powers is having a teleporter, because that's what I've always wanted. I'm like, can you imagine how much you would get done?
Oh, incredible. Like, oh, I'm just here now. And
and living in LA, not dealing with traffic.
Up to Atlanta, we have the same problem.
Yep,
oh,
of
my
course.
goodness.
No, of course. I've experienced that before. And being able to visit your friends without having to worry about it, that would be so fun.
Do you feel like if we actually had teleporters in actual society, we would maybe get more lazy or more empowered, do you think?
I think we the more time we make for things, the more we fill it.
You're not
so
wrong.
I think we would just expect people to be everywhere. So I need to have a teleporter, but no one else. Because then, I know it's very selfish, but then at least I feel like the expectations are low, but my ability to fulfill them is high.
That's
so fair. But that's very selfish of me, so I should really not wish for that.
No one's going to see this. You're fine.
Oh, awesome!
Well, you talked about fandoms. Obviously, this is a big family reunion as well and things like that. But what are some particular fandoms that you are into? Obviously, you are here as a representative of the gaming community, but you yourself are a fan of a lot of things.
Yes, of course.
Let's go through some of those.
Speaking to one of the fandoms that I love being a part of that's here, I am in love with The Expanse.
Oh my goodness, yes.
I love that show so much. I grew up on sci-fi. We were a Trekkie household. Watched the whole family watched together. My mom, who was a doctor, and me sitting next to her watching Beverly Crusher and being like, there's a doctor in space and she's kind of like you, only she doesn't look like you, but it's awesome and we're together. And so, and then The Expanse happened, and it was just, it's such an extraordinary tapestry of story and socio-political commentary, and the acting is fantastic. The effects are, I just absolutely fell in love with it. And I have some friends who are on the show, which is even more exciting. So I've kind of been a closet fan, because you don't want to be like geeking out to your friends. Be like, oh my God,
don't be that person.
So awesome.
Yeah.
But then I'm that person, because it's
fine.
such a great show. And I get to moderate their diversity panel
Which
tomorrow.
we were huge. You brought that up this morning.
I
found out about that panel from them. I interviewed them yesterday. Had no clue that was a panel.
Yeah.
And so when I was talking to Sholray about that, she was just like, so we're doing this panel. And I'm like, this is perfect.
Yeah, no, it is. It's
That's
so
beautiful
perfect.
lineup. And then when you told me you're a moderator, I'm like, this should be a home run. This video will not be online before that happens at this point.
Right.
But oh my goodness, I hope you will find it by this point.
And if you won't, will there be somewhere that they can watch it?
We do this. We have a streaming service.
Okay, so cool. So people, you can all see it online. So we won't be like, oh, sorry, you missed it.
It doesn't exist again.
Sorry, not sorry. Like, we won't do that to you.
No.
So I love that show. It's not represented here by anyone but myself, but I'm very much getting into the RPG, live RPG.
LARPing. There's actually a huge.
No, not LARPing.
Okay.
But the sort of combination platter that Critical Role started.
Right.
At
I
Geek
see what you're
Sundry.
saying. Yes,
and,
yes.
One of my favorite projects that I've ever worked on is called We're a Live Frontier, and we finished our first season, and that's already online. And our second season is going to come out, I think, in October.
No,
that sounds
close.
convincing. I think that's when it's happening. And I played Dungeons and Dragons when I was a kid, and it was such a huge part of my personal education, you know. And I won the 4th grade spelling bee because of it, because no other 9-year-old knew how to spell vengeance, but I did.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, that's a word that we usually, generally speaking,
That's
we
fair.
might not be using that much at age 9. But I'm like, I will have vengeance at age 9. I will have vengeance against this test on California history. So now I've been really, really into that, and really, into the combination of performing and role-playing games, because essentially it's long-form improv.
It is, and that's what makes it so beautiful too.
And We're Alive Frontier is such a cool thing. It's the Outbreak Undead gameplay system, but it's based on, or it's using the story and the canon from the We're Alive podcast,
Right.
Which was immensely popular.
Very
So you've combined those two. And it's if The Walking Dead and Critical Role had a baby, you would have this show. And it's just been a blast. It's been some of the greatest relationships that I've built in the industry. Are some of these people. It's just, and also just really rewarding as a cast member.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I love community things. Like I've recently, not in part necessarily Critical Role, but there's a resurgence in my own personal life for like gaming and things like that. And everyone's back in. It's the cool thing to do. You know that. D&D has got this new edition that's back out, and more and more people are back involved. And growing up, it was me. We were the outcasts. We were the nerd. You know, it's very common. The outcasts and nerds.
I was the girl.
Yeah.
I was the girl who played.
Right.
Like there was one of me and one of us in the group, and that was it. And also, let's be honest, like LARPing, essentially big sci-fi and fantasy fiction movies are LARPing with a budget. So we all want to do that. We all want to be Chris Hemsworth in Thor. We all want to be Wonder Woman. Why aren't we just doing it for fun?
Yeah.
So I picked a job where I could do it for a living. Lucky me. Look how smart and clever I was.
That's a good way to
That was
round
good
about
thinking.
that. Yeah.
That was good thinking, I think.
So what was your big class growing up then? So we know you've gone through all these fantastic roles in your career.
Yeah.
But what was your class
Like
when
my
you were role playing?
subject?
Your role
my
playing.
class.
Yeah.
See, because
so how did this kind of set the path? I'm curious.
when I first started, I was a cleric fighter because I liked the idea of being a healer but also a wounder.
Yeah.
It was very weird. I was
I
duality.
did the exact same thing.
And I loved because back in the day, back when I played, back in 1908. The classes were very different.
Simple. Yeah.
So I loved Rangers. Of course, then I started realizing that I can't make any decisions, so I ended up being like a cleric fighter magic user. I loved the multi-class idea, which is kind of what I do in real life, you know, Jane of all trades, master of none type thing. But now I am very intrigued by the monk.
Oh, it's fantastic.
By the fighter monk.
Yeah.
Because you don't normally think of monks as fighters in
things.
our world. But actually, back in the day, I'm going to teach you a little bit about Indian history, ladies and gentlemen. During the time of the British Raj, there were Indian spies that were conscripted by the British to spy for them in the Himalayas and in the area between Russia and India, and they were called the Pundits. And many of them were trained in map making and fighting and all of these things, but they would masquerade as Buddhist monks. So I'm like, this kind of fits my backstory. Let's do that.
Nice.
Except I won't shave my head.
No?
Because the hair's got to stay.
It's
I
good hair.
lose all my strength.
That's it?
That's it. It's like Samson.
That's
It's
what
gone.
I'm
I got nothing.
Cut it down.
I wouldn't be able to act. I wouldn't know what to do with myself. I would be look in the mirror and be like, who are you?
Who is this person?
Who is this person?
I don't know you.
Who is this person staring back at me? Oh God. So yeah, I don't know when I go back. I do say when I go back to D&D now. I don't know who I would roll up.
That's
I did just
interesting.
start playing Warcraft.
Warcraft, like
I finally
World of Warcraft?
downloaded it. I was avoiding it because I knew that.
It was nice knowing you.
Exactly. I was like, I have like 5 minutes of free time a day, and I knew that 5 minutes would immediately go to Warcraft. And so yeah, the first night I had it on my computer. I played for an hour and a half, and I was like, oh my God, you're in trouble now. What do you mean I can be a dog person? This isn't fair. This is amazing. So
you rolled up a Worgen then?
I rolled up a Worgen. Yeah. I also rolled up, I played Alliance, and I rolled not Blood Elf, but Night Elf?
Night Elves?
Night Elves.
Yeah.
Although I have to admit, in that initial preview, I really fell in love with that Blood Elf chick.
Oh, it's a beautiful area.
She was pretty awesome. But all my friends play Alliance, so I figured I'd do
That's
that.
fair.
And then I rolled up a Worgen. And then I rolled up a Worgen because
That's so
I
cool.
love dogs.
Yeah.
And if I can't pet one, I want to be one. So there we go.
Well, that's a great. If I can't pet one, I want to be one.
Yes,
the story
exactly.
of werewolves. Yeah.
The story of werewolves.
The story of werewolves. So before you get out of here, though, because you
Yes.
have a very hectic schedule.
Yes, I do.
Super crazy, but we're going to slow you down just a little bit.
All right.
Draw a random question
Oh, no.
out of our bucket here, and then I'm going to hand it back to me, and I'll ask it to you.
I want to know if I win this, if I answer the question
I know.
correctly.
Does she? You stunned silence.
Totally does. Look, yeah, she does. That was the worst
That's
voice
that
acting
was-
I've ever done.
You're hired.
You guys, I swear that's not what I do at work.
But
that
that
was
was fantastic,
That
though.
was not committed. That's what not committed voice acting
Yeah,
is.
I'm unsure, but I'm here now. All right, so let's see what we got here. I'll read it for you.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's in my handwriting. It's terrible. What song
Oh, no.
will you always sing along to whenever you hear it? What's your jam?
Someday love will find you, break those chains that bind you. One night will remind you how we touched and went our separate ways. It's just like this.
Powerful.
It's like, raw, I'm in love and I can't have her. Tear the shirt and bang on the wall. I don't know why I turn into a dude, but
Right.
that is one of them. And then Lady Marmalade.
Oh, yes.
Totally. I mean, you can't.
It's one of the best
cannot-
poppy
I mean, it's
dance
so
songs out there.
good.
Yes.
So
Good deep
yeah,
rhythms
those
on
two,
that,
and
yeah.
then almost anything by Aretha Franklin, God rest her
Oh,
soul.
indeed.
Especially after watching the extraordinary tribute and memorial.
Yes.
that
Oh, I
happened
haven't
the
gone back
other
to
day.
watch that yet,
Oh
so.
my God, it's so good.
Was not
It's so
prepared
good.
for that, so now I have something to look
So
forward
there
to.
you go.
Thank
you
you
do
for
that
that.
while I am spending my time playing World of Warcraft.
That's a deal. So while you're doing that, thank you so much for your time today, Anjali. And I hope you
you.
have a great Dragon. It's your first time, so we'll
Thank
check in later,
you.
maybe.
Yes, thanks so much.
Thank you, and thank you, DragonCon.